All right, so staying in the NFL, AJ, we had a lot of action going around in the rest of the NFL. We had two games going to overtime. We had a neutral site game in Jacksonville. So, AJ, what happened in the other action that caught your eyes?
I think the most surprising thing, period, in week one is, we thought that maybe the Saints, playing in a neutral site, not playing in a dome, would maybe be a factor in that game. It was not. Green Bay with the old 3-point special. Um, I was, unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch that game all that closely. I was obviously watching uh, Denver and the New York Giants. So, I can't totally speak on completely what was happening with the Packers offense. But I do believe, and I have believed the Saints have a really good defense. I think Marshawn Lattimore just got an extension. We know about Demario Davis, Cameron Jordan, Marcus Williams. Something about Marcus Williams. We thought a couple of years ago this guy would be remembered for all the wrong reasons with the miracle in Minnesota
Right.
and all that. This dude can play. Malcolm Jenkins, of course, well, lot to like on that defense. So they have a really good defense, but obviously you got the reigning MVP, Devontae Adams, who, arguably the best receiver in football. Aaron Jones coming off that contract. Bakhtiari is your left tackle. We know how good he is. There's just too much on this offense for you to come out week one and look this bad. Um, I had Green Bay in the game, but I'm not terribly shocked that New Orleans won the game, but I am shocked at how lopsided it was. I mean, 38-3, that's the worst loss of Aaron Rodgers' career. Jameis Winston, give this guy credit. The biggest stat to watch for Jameis Winston is the turnovers, and he had 0 of them. So that's going to be that. I mean, that's going to be good for you. The 5 touchdowns looks awful sweet, but they run the football and play defense too. With Alvin Kamara, watch out for this young guy Tony Jones, and of course, he there's some weapons out there that he can throw to. Deontay Harris, he's a speedster that can help you out. So, but for Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers, I'm not going to bang on too much because I didn't watch the game all that closely. It does make you wonder a little bit, like, is this in any way how Aaron Rodgers wants this to go? I mean, does he want to embarrass the Packers organization in this way? I don't know. I do know, like, I saw a meme somewhere where it's like Aaron Rodgers on one side, Brady on the other, and it's like, how is this dude over here like 7 years younger than this guy? Aaron Rodgers he looked homeless with the whatever
Yeah,
hair thing
yeah.
he got going on. He looks a mess. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I cannot believe that they're that bad of a team. I cannot believe that. I gotta say though, that's a horrible look week one for you to come out and be that awful for a team that is, last couple of years, what, NFC Championship game both years, I believe, something like that. Matt LaFleur, man,
Yep.
where you at? Matt LaFleur, I got to admit, I mean, I know Green Bay's been very good the past 2 years. I'm still not sold on Matt LaFleur. I'm not seeing it. But I will tell you, like, there's an MO against Green Bay the past several years. Think about the 49ers, team that went to the Super Bowl. They hammered them twice. Think about Tampa Bay last year, beat them twice.
Tell you.
New Orleans,
So,
they don't play well against they don't play well against physical teams. So that continues to be a problem. We'll have to monitor it going forward, but I don't know. And I'm not saying I don't want to get into a conspiracy theory, but I cannot believe Aaron Rodgers is that bad and the Packers are that bad. That was horrible. But in regards to other things I saw, I thought Pittsburgh surprised me a little bit. Able to go to Buffalo, a team. Buffalo, there's a lot of hype around Buffalo. It's probably, if you had to pick a team after Kansas City and AFC, you might pick Buffalo or Cleveland. I think those are the two teams you might look at. And Pittsburgh goes in there and they say, hey, we still here. We got this defense. TJ Watt, earning his money right off the bat. I like that. Big Ben doing some things. Deontay Johnson, incredible touchdown catch. Big Ben still got his foursome of receivers with Deontay Johnson, Claypool, Juju, and James Washington. You got Najee Harris. He's involved in the run game and the passing. Didn't have a great first day, but I mean, that's a great defense. Big Ben, I mean, he's still got a little bit left in the tank, got a lot of weaponry. It's a little bit surprising that Buffalo didn't get it done. Outside of that, one of the things that caught my eye, the AFC and the NFC West, a clean sweep, 8-0. I don't know when the last time that type of things happened, but I do know we thought the NFC West might be the best division in football. They certainly came out with it. But also, I mean, the AFC West, we know about Kansas City, but Justin Herbert and the Chargers going into Washington, getting a win on the road there. Denver going into New York, taking out the Giants. And we saw what the Raiders did last night against the Ravens. You know, I think the Ravens ended up blowing that game. They couldn't get out their own way. But impressive for the whole West Side to roll 8 wins. And I do have to say 2 more quick points. Sam Darnold wasn't fantastic or anything, but got it done. That was a big game for him and the Carolina Panthers. I don't think that was a game they could afford to lose. Hopefully, hopefully this is something they can build off of down there. And I got to tell you, Houston and Philly leading their respective divisions after week 1. I didn't have that. I'd like to meet the person who did have that, because I thought, you know, I've been saying I think Philly's going to be bad. I've been singing that this whole offseason. I still think they're going to be bad because Atlanta's going to be bad too. But Jacksonville, not the start you want. That's a our Jacksonville correspondent down there, he was like, yeah, I think this is a team that's going to win 6 games, and he's feeling good about it and everything. No, he's thinking they're going to win about 2 games now, because Houston was one of the teams that, like, I think we can beat this team, and they got toasted, and it was embarrassing.
With the first pick of the 2022 draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Listen, so that was a little jab at our third man and our correspondent down there, old Cody. Listen, here's the deal. Let me start off with the team that you talked about before, Jacksonville, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles. Holla if you hear me. Listen, the Eagles was picked by most people to be one of the bottom 5 teams in the league. Not the division, not the conference, the whole league. And rightfully so. I wasn't mad at it. I mean, it's abundance of evidence why they should be one of the bottom 5 teams. But Falcons. If y'all got fans left, I don't know how. The Falcons has been disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. I understand. It's week 1. What are you talking about, Drink? It's week 1. Don't overreact. You can't overreact about 1 game. Yes, the hell I can when it's 2 bottom feeding teams and you get smoked still. This is like watching, I don't know, Mercer versus Southeastern Missouri, and Mercer goes up 50-0, and you're like, wait, what? How? They both suck, and that's what we thought about this team. And then here come the Eagles, and they just flat out come lead on the Falcons to show that's why the American Bald Eagle is the official eagle of the United States and not the Falcon, because we will probably lose at that too. Here's the deal. I think that Alabama connection worked very well for the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday. Jalen Hurts, DeMonte Smith. Jalen Hurts, 264. He was 27 out of 35, so he only dropped 8 passes. I thought that was phenomenal. Threw 3 touchdowns, and then DeMonte Smith, 6 receptions for 71 yards and a touchdown. And I think Miles Sanders did his job as well. 15 carries for 74 yards, especially when we probably struggle to name 2 starters on that offensive line. So, I got to give that kudos. I'm telling you, I was blown away to see the Eagles. Even though it is the Falcons and we're used to them losing, it's still, like, it blew me away to just see, I was blown away. That this team was for real. Matt Ryan, 64 yards. Can I get a touchdown, Matt? We just gonna have old young Ho Koo over here just kick two nice ones, and that's it. That's what we got, Atlanta. Thank you for coming.
One more thing, because I haven't thought of this guy for months now. That ain't a good look, Arthur. Where you at, Arthur? Arthur Smith. You remember? You know what I'm talking about? The old Tennessee
Yep.
That ain't it, Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
That's 6 points he talking about. That is not it.
Hey, and to Jay's point earlier, this the second Tennessee dude looking a little shaky out here. Hey, Matt LaFleur, your boy looking shaky, yo. Mike Vrabel, we might have to check the closet. There might be some skeletons in there. I don't know what's going on, but somebody got the dirty pictures.
That coaching tree got a few loose limbs. It looked like.
It's looking like a hurricane about to come. We looking real shaky out here.
It's a coaching stump.
And then keeping it with the theme of Alabama, I'm gonna go down here to this Miami Dolphins versus the New England Patriots. That game was a 1 point, this decision by the Miami Dolphins. But hey, listen, I think the two young quarterbacks. Here's the deal, a lot of people, hey, Alabama don't produce no quarterbacks, and when they do, they don't stick around long. They suck. Well, we had three NFL starters, and it seems that all three played pretty decently. Starting with Tua, 16 of 27, so that's 8 drops or whatnot, and for 202 yards, he had a running touchdown and a passing touchdown, and he also threw an interception. I think that's more than I thought he was. Tua ain't much up the running nowadays, and he actually ran it. Hey, kudos to him. Devontae Parker chipped in with his 4 receptions for 81 yards. Wasn't mad at Myles Gaskin either. 9 carries for 49 yards for Miami. And then over to the losing quarterback, but he played outstanding. Listen, one thing you said in your segment, Jay, you said, hey, Bill Belichick, you out here playing with fire. You want to start this rookie. I guess, not saying that Bill Belichick was right or anything, but I would say this. You got a, rookie versus a second-year player. You think your rookie is better than the second-year starter? Why not? I thought this played out well for them, even though they lost. And I think if I'm New England, I left this game encouraged. Like, I can believe in this guy. He can get some things done. Matt Jones, like I said, he dropped 10 passes. He went 29 for 39 for 281 yards, and he threw a touchdown. Damian Harris, they'll say Alabama guy. Damian Harris, 23 carries for 100 yards. He had a good game. Oh, and we had a Nelson Aguilar sighting, folks. Mr. Dropping babies himself. You know what it is, 5 catches for 72 yards and 1 touchdown. I thought that was pretty impressive. And then the third game I wanted to hit on was the game that happened last night. Do you know David Carr almost threw for 500 yards last night?
I think he led I think he had the most passing yards in week 1. So I think they were all to Darren Waller too.
Hey, listen, if I had Darren Waller, there'd be all to Darren Waller too. Listen, you can't have a top 3 tight end on your roster and don't load them up right quick, especially when you got one of the Alabama players that I don't talk about a lot, that I don't even get a chance to talk about a lot. Henry Ruggs out here just flopping around, doing what he doing. Like, yeah, you need to throw it to Waller until Ruggs figure out how to use his hands again. But listen, Derek Carr, for everything that was thrown to him, you got to understand, the Raiders are not that good. You take Darren Waller out of the mix, and you kind of like, Josh Jacobs up and down. Offensive line is a doggone S show, for lack of terms.
They blew it up.
Blew it up. I mean, I done seen, strap yards with a better collection of talent. And then, like I done told you, like on the outsides, you don't got much outside, other than Waller. Hunter Renfrow looked like the go-to guy. If Hunter Renfrow is your go-to guy, it might be a long day at the job.
The ultimate gluten grinder.
But what I was impressed was the defense. I thought that defense from the Raiders was on point. Lamar Jackson head spinning, and honestly, to capitalize what you said about Derek Carr being the number 1 passer in week 1. This is where you see when the lack of preseason, when these guys don't do anything in preseason, they don't show up to voluntary OTAs, they don't really show up until, training camp. You're not really taking anything hard in training camp, and then you get to week 1, and you look like Aaron Rodgers, and you looked like Lamar Jackson last night. You know what I'm saying? That's what you look like when you spend the whole, not Lamar Jackson, but Aaron Rodgers to this fact, when you spend the whole offseason just like bickering with the team, you didn't build no chemistry with your teammates, you didn't build chemistry with the defense, you come in here looking like you was on a bender for the last 3 months. You're like, that's what happens. You come in.
What about Ryan Tannehill too?
Same thing. I'm gonna get to him too, but I'm gonna get to the guys that we have a tremendous amount of respect for first, and then we're gonna get to the guys that didn't, their performance didn't surprise us all that much. But like, Aaron Rodgers, man, you know what they tell you when you growing up in school, you need to dress for success. Well, that's exactly what Aaron Rodgers didn't do. He came out here and played just the way he looked.
You need to groom
like he was on the practice squad. Yeah, like, come on, man. And I ain't even mad at Tannehill. Tannehill did what Tannehill. We didn't even talking about this. What, like, are we surprised? Are you not? Is Derrick Henry the guy at quarterback? AJ Brown and Julio Jones. Who's the weak point here? Ryan Tannehill. Who's the guy that's most likely not to do his job? Ryan Tannehill. Who's the guy? Like, come on, man. If you're a defensive coordinator, you don't say, hey, you know what? We're going to build a plan around stopping Ryan Tannehill. No, that's not what you say.
We'll take our chance with Derrick Henry.
Hey, we're going to load that box for Derrick Henry, right? And we're gonna press A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. That's what we're going to do. Why? Because we don't believe in Tannehill at all. So I'm not surprised in Tannehill. So with that said, let's roll, baby.
Hey, yeah, couple final quick points. I don't know if you watched it last night, but the broadcast on ESPN2 with Peyton and Eli was fantastic. No, I didn't. It was fantastic. I think it's one of maybe the best thing ESPN's done in the past 5 years, maybe. So good job on that. I think they're moving it to ESPN Plus for the rest of the season, so I won't be tuning in anymore on that. But it was great. And one final thing. I was absolutely adamant in the last show that Denver was going to be better by multiple scores against the Giants. So thank y'all so much for proving me wrong. It was 27-7, and they got a garbage time touchdown on the last play of the game. So thank you so much, Denver, for proving me right. Vic Fangio first win in September in his third season as coach.